Welcome back. It's so good to see you. So today we are going to be talking about Christmas movies. And I'm kind of like over to the side because I'm going to be putting some images over here. Or I'm going to try to. And if I can't figure it out, my husband's going to do it. But we're going to be talking about Christmas movies today. And I love Christmas movies so much. And so I decided that I should make a video ranking like my top 10 Christmas movies, and oh my gosh, it was super hard. But like I literally went through all the Christmas movies and I was like, oh, I love this one, I love this one, I love this one. But after I really thought about it, I was able to narrow it down to 10, and it's because I watch these like every year and they're so good. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. And I have like the sheet over here this time because I'm trying to be on this side so that the pictures can pop up over here. Okay, so number 10 is FXs A Christmas Carol. Now this is the classic story, you know, about Ebenezer Scrooge and how he's a terrible person. And he's visited by like 3 ghosts or whatever. But this is retold in a much darker way. Yeah, it stars Guy Pearce as Ebenezer Scrooge. And it was actually on FX. It was like an FX original movie or something. But it also came out on BBC, I guess. And it came out in 2019. You can actually watch it on Hulu right now because it came out on FX, like an FX original movie. That's part of the Hulu package thing or something, so you can go check that out on Hulu. But yeah, like I said, it's like the original, you know, A Christmas Carol, but much darker and almost scary. It was written by the creator of Peaky Blinders and produced by Tom Hardy. So you know it's good. Super good. Anyway, so that was number 10. Number 9, The Polar Express. Now this is an animated Christmas movie that came out in 2004, and I love it so much. At first, I didn't, because they like hyped it up so much, and then when I watched it I was just like, okay, but for some reason I just watch it over and over and over, and I realize it's because it's a good movie, and like, I don't know, it just makes me so happy. But it stars Tom Hanks and is actually based off of the book The Polar Express. I thought that it was the other way around. Like, I had never even heard of The Polar Express until the movie came out, and then I saw the book everywhere. So that was an interesting little fact that I found out. Okay, so this movie is about a young boy who begins doubting the whole Santa thing. And he ends up taking this train ride in like the middle of the night to the North Pole on Christmas Eve, with other doubting children. And he learns that as long as you believe, the magic of Christmas will never fade. And that is full on true. Like, I believe that. So, and it's just fun. It's a fun movie, I think. And my kids, they watch it every year as well. They really like it. Okay, number 8 is The Christmas Chronicles. I thought that one was going to be stupid too, you know? Like, the trailer looked dumb. But this is a Netflix original film that came out in 2018 and stars Kurt Russell as Santa. Kurt Russell as Santa. What? And it's so funny because in the movie, he's like not a, you know, large, jolly old Saint Nick or whatever, and he like even complains. He's like, where did people get this idea that Santa's fat and he's not in shape? It's just funny. Anyway, so this movie is about 2 children who plan to catch Santa on camera. But something goes wrong. Oh no. And they have to help save Santa and Christmas. Oh, it's a very cute, family friendly movie that's just, it's good. I really like it, and my kids really like it too. Now, they came out with Christmas Chronicles 2. I didn't like that one so much. I didn't like it. But the first one, like, my son loves it because Santa goes to jail. And then, like, he starts, because he's magic, you know? So, like, he starts rocking out in jail, and like he puts on these sunglasses and he just does this whole performance and stuff, and my son loves it because he's like, it's the cool Santa. So like whenever he wants to watch the movie, he's like, I want to watch the cool Santa movie because Santa is cool. Okay, number 7 is The Santa Claus, and this is a movie that came out in 1994 starring Tim Allen as Santa. I remember when this movie came out, like I've watched it like my whole life, like it's so good. But in this movie, Tim Allen plays a divorced dad who has his son for Christmas Eve. That night, they hear something on the roof and go outside to see what's happening, causing Santa, who was on the roof, to fall off and die. Oh. Tim Allen is convinced by his son to put the suit on, and later you find out that since he put the suit on, he is the new Santa. What? It's just a super cute, like, classic Christmas movie for the whole family to enjoy. And, like, it's just funny. I don't know. I like it. Okay. Number 6 is Elf. This movie came out in 2003 starring Will Ferrell as Buddy the Elf. I love Will Ferrell. Like, anything that he's ever been in. Well, not Sherlock. I thought Sherlock kind of sucked. But most things, most things that he has been in are just great. He's so funny. I love him. Okay, so Buddy the Elf, well, he wasn't an elf in the beginning. He was a baby. So, as a baby, Buddy is living in an orphanage, and he is accidentally taken to the North Pole. He climbed into Santa's, like, present sack while Santa was delivering presents to the orphanage, and then he travels back to the North Pole. Well, once he gets there, one of the elves, I believe, you know, like, always wanted a kid or something, but he volunteered to raise Buddy. So he was raised by elves. But once he grows up, he learns that he has a father that is alive. So he travels to New York in search of his real father. Let the craziness ensue. I mean, can you imagine a real life elf, or someone who thinks they're an elf, coming into the real world, and it's Will Ferrell? It's a really good movie, but I think it's one of those movies that, like, either you love it or you hate it, and I love it. Okay, number 5, A Charlie Brown Christmas. This is an old animated movie or show, because it's like 30 minutes long, but I'm talking like old school, like you can see the pencil marks and stuff, and like I mean, this is old. It came out in 1965, but I love it. I've watched it every year since, like, you know, the moment I was born. But it's about the classic comic characters, Peanuts, mainly Charlie Brown, and he is trying to get into the Christmas spirit. He ends up directing a play and has to get a Christmas tree, but it's like this really sad Christmas tree that's basically like a branch with some pine needles on it, and he tries to decorate it, and like there's this ornament, and it just plops the tree over, like it can't even hold the ornament, you know. Anyway, and everybody makes fun of it, you know. But don't worry, because the tree gets a makeover and the spirit of Christmas works its magic. It's, as they say, an oldie but a goodie, but I mean, it just wouldn't be Christmas without Charlie Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing. Okay, number 4 is Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. This is the animated new version of the classic How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now, I like the classic How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's like a 30-minute, old school cartoon kind of thing. But the new version is much better, I think. It came out in 2018, and it stars Benedict Cumberbatch. I guess that's how you say his name. I don't know. As the Grinch. And I was shocked because when I watched that movie, I was like, who is that? Because it doesn't even sound like him or anything. I don't know. I think he did a really good job. But okay, so the Grinch is like this green creature. I don't even know. But he lives inside a cave with his dog, Max. And he hates all the Who's in Whoville. And Whoville is this little town that is, because he lives in this cave, like on a mountain or something, so it's down in the valley, this little town, and all their residents are called Who's. They're really kind of cute. But it's Dr. Susie, so they also look kind of weird. But anyway, so he hates all the Who's in Whoville. But what he hates even more is Christmas. So he hates it so much that he comes up with a plan to pose as Santa and steal Christmas. What will the Who's do? Oh. I love this movie so much. Like, it's just so good. And the new version, I think it also has Kenan Thompson in it. And he has all these little, like, one-line parts that just, they're these funny little tidbits that are throughout the whole movie. And it's just, it's a good movie. I love it. And my kids, they love it too. Okay, number 3, The Family Man. This is more of a romantic comedy Christmas movie that came out in 2000 starring Nicolas Cage. I love Nicolas Cage. Like, he can be so funny. He can be crazy. I think that he is a really, really good actor, and I wish he would do more movies, like mainstream movies. But even his non-mainstream movies, they're pretty interesting, Anyway, so in The Family Man, Nick Cage is like this snooty rich guy who lives in New York, but he's like a real jerk. And he walks into a convenience store on Christmas Eve, and there's like this robbery going on, but he, I guess, stops the robbery or something like that. And yeah, so he goes home and he goes to sleep, and then when he wakes up the next morning, he's in a totally different house, and he's next to his college sweetheart, and he's like, wow. Anyway, so his life took a turn a few years ago, and it seems as though he chose money over love. But now he finds himself in some alternate universe of how things could have ended up if he chose differently, which puts him into a panic mode, which, I mean, it would anybody, right? But I love this movie so much, and it's so good, but it makes me cry every time, but it's one of those, like, good cries, So, anyway. Number 2 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Like, oh, so good. So, this is a comedy that came out in 1989, starring Chevy Chase. I also want to just make a little side comment about Chevy Chase. Like, His name is Chevy Chase, but nobody ever just says Chevy. Like, he could be a single named person like Madonna or, Beyonce, something like that. But people always just say Chevy Chase. Nobody has the name Chevy. I mean, they could, but I don't know any other famous people with the name Chevy. But like when I refer to him, it's always just Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase. I don't ever just say, Chevy. What? Anyway, so this has got to be one of the best movies ever. Not just Christmas, just it's so hilarious. It's got to be like one of the best comedies. Anyway, so this family man, Clark Griswold, Chevy Chase, wants to have a good old-fashioned family Christmas. The perfect Christmas. Does he get the perfect Christmas? No. No. Unexpected family members show up, the Christmas decorations won't work, and the Christmas bonus that he was expecting never came. Everything that can go wrong does go wrong, but it is all extremely hilarious, just hilarious. And my daughter just watched this for the first time, and I was worried that she wouldn't like it because it was so old, but she actually ended up loving it, like loving it. And it's just super good. It's super good. But it will forever be my second favorite because nothing will ever beat my number one. And this is not just my number one Christmas movie. This is my number one movie of all time. And I'm sure you know what it is. But number one is Home Alone. Oh, my heart. Oh. Okay, so this is a comedy that came out in 1990 starring Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister. Okay, so this 8-year-old accidentally gets left behind just before Christmas when his entire family leaves for Paris, which is actually he's kind of excited about because he kind of hates his family at the moment, because he's always like looked over. Nobody ever pays attention to him. They're just kind of like mean, and I don't know. Anyway, but so he's just kind of like having the time of his life while his family is gone. So cute. Anyway, but there are these two robbers, aka the Wet Bandits, that have been breaking into homes all around the neighborhood, stealing stuff, because a lot of the families are on vacation, not there, and they have plans to rob Kevin's house next. But Kevin has some plans to protect his home at all costs. I love this movie so much. It makes me so happy. Like, it's great. And like, plus my son, especially when he was younger, he looked exactly like Kevin. So much so that when he was younger, he called it his movie. He'd be like, I want to watch my movie. But it was so funny because he could never remember doing the things in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, he thought that was him in the movie, and so did my daughter. And it was so cute because he was like, I don't remember doing that. I don't remember that. It was so cute. Anyway, I want to go watch that movie right now. So, yeah. So, those are my top 10 Christmas movies. Let me know if we share some of the same movies in the comments, or what is your favorite Christmas movie. That would be interesting. Maybe I've never heard of it and then I can go watch it because I love Christmas movies. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.